And I am getting a heads up that one of the stars of last night's show is actually doing a live press conference. Let's head over to that right now. I believe Hulk Hogan is doing a live press conference to address everything that happened last night.
Hello and welcome to this press conference that I've called the day after arguably the greatest day in my professional career. Last night, tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of people watched the Hulkster bring the house down on WWE Raw to usher in the Netflix era in the Intuit Dome. It's the greatest night of my life. With that, I'd like to open it up to a couple questions.
That's good, press conference.
Hi, Mr. Hulkster. This is Peter Penz from the Mark Times.
Yeah, I can tell you look like a Mark, son.
Thank you. I appreciate that, I guess. Booing was actually trending on X last night. I wasn't sure if you had any comments about the almost negative opening that you received when you were out on the stage, sir. Thank you.
Well, yeah, if you think those were boos, I can tell you're a fucking mark, okay? I've been doing this a long time, kid, and you get used to the Hulk Hogan. Now, I will admit, I heard a couple boos smattered across the crowd, and I'll be honest, I had no idea the people in L.A. hated Jimmy Hart the way they did. They took one look at him with his stringy hair, stupid sunglasses, and the way he was half-assed waving that flag around, and I should have expected it. Those liberal marks out there can't stand a MAGA champion like the Hulkster. But again, they weren't booing the Hulkster. They were booing Jimmy Hart. Everybody loves the Hulkster, dude. I mean, next question. What are we doing here?
Oh, Mr. Hulkster, Bill Markington, South African Times.
Who let this guy in? Get him out. Get him out. I want questions from real Americans, brother.
Hulkster, Bill Bazaranth, top turnbuckle. Do you
Good
think,
publication.
Do you think anyone booing last night has ever tried a real American beer, and after they try a real American beer would ever boo again?
Listen, I don't want someone trying a real American beer who's gonna boo. I just mentioned it. I'll mention it again. Those goddamn liberals out there, they can have their Bud Light. Those aren't real Americans. Those aren't my real Americans, dude. The only Americans I want drinking real American beer are real Americans. The Bible Belt, the Midwest, anywhere where people don't bow down to Joe Biden. And they certainly do out there, brother.
Wow. Mr. Hulkster, Dexter Bennett from the Daily Gimmick. While trying to listen to you through the booze, heard you talk about a 40-year run and how long you've been. John Cena been on his last run. Any thoughts on you maybe going on last run, and who would you like to go up against if you were to do that?
Yeah, sure, I got a couple thoughts. The Hulkster would love to run through just a who's who of the WWE roster. Give me Kofi Kingston. Give me Xavier Woods. Hell, give me Trick Williams. You can bring his ass up from NXT.
Trick?
Maybe some of the old guys, dude. Godfather, see ya.
Wait, there seems to be a
Stop it. I'm not done yet. Farouk. I'll get in the ring with his ass, too. Ahmad Plummer. You want some? I'm not scared of the Pearl River Plunge. Any one of you guys can take a seat.
Is that it? That's the end of your list?
Oh, I could go on and on, brother. But I'm going to end it at Mania with the High Chief, Sui Ui Lala Tuiate Wate. I want you, Dewey. I want you, Dwayne. In Vegas at Mania 2 nights. Hell, I'll beat your ass back to back. It'll be the biggest WrestleMania ever, dude. Does that answer your questions? From the Mark Times or wherever the fuck you write for?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going to go drink some real American beer. If you're one of those jackasses who was booing Jimmy Hart last night, fuck you. You don't deserve real American beer. I'm going to go find some real Americans who love that genuine, refreshing Pilsner, dude.
All right.
Wow.
All right, so that settles it.
Yeah.
Feels like Hulkster understands what happened last night.
Yeah.
Booed. I don't know if the journalist understood if it was booed or booing was trending number 12 last night, but when I looked at it after the show, it had 18,000 posts on booed for the Hulkster, but I'm happy he clarified it because he was there. We weren't in his position.
Yeah.
It was booing towards Jimmy Hart is what he said,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense now
Sure.
that I kind of think about it. But in there was a chance it was Hulk. Yeah, I never really thought about that as well. Ty, he got a little unhinged in there a couple different times. Is he okay, you think?
I'm assuming the Hulkster's just jacked up. I mean, he mentioned it last night was one of the and this is a guy who's done everything there is to do in the wrestling business. But last night, arguably the biggest night of his life. He's obviously launching his beer, which is delicious. I can only assume. I've never actually tried it. Would love to.
But you will.
Yeah, I absolutely will. But I mean, I get it. You know, you get out there and people are throwing shots at you saying, Jesus, has Hulk lost his fastball? No. The Hulkster has not lost his fastball. And that makes more sense. I'm glad he cleared that up. That's what it had to have been. They were booing Jimmy Hart. They weren't booing the Hulkster. There's Hulkamaniacs everywhere.
Well, he obviously knew that there was a narrative getting built quickly, which is why he had this emergency press conference, I assume. And hopefully we'll get a chance to get Hulk Hogan on the show, not only just via a press conference, but the list of guys that he said he would take on seemed, and that was a good follow-up question by the journalist from the Daily Gimmick, I believe, was the name. It seemed to be a little bit of a trend there, you know. A
little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a trend.
Stacked. I'm excited to see the Ahmed Johnson match.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, is that who?
I don't think he said Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Plummer?
Said Ahmed Plummer.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's not his name.
Yeah, but Hulkster
Are
was
we,
more,
Yeah,
are we
you
sure
get it.
that was the Hulkster?
What do you mean?
right there.
Yeah, are we sure that was?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Who
Looked
else
like
would it
him.
have been?
What do you mean?
I just wasn't sure. I was looking. He sounded like him. Looked like him.
He had the red and
Mustache.
yellow.
You gotta just AI. You gotta make sure these days.
Well, and I guess we didn't. You're right. I mean, I didn't even think about that not being Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was Hulkster.
Did we hear his music? Because I am a real American, fight for the right of every man. When that played last night,
Oh, pop the pop.
That was
Jimmy,
heat.
I was looking straight down. So I'm looking right across the ring, right down the tunnel, right before the arena sees, because there's a little bit of an extender there. The way they had that set up was sick because the wall was right behind it. And I think the shot of High Chief turning around and then that wall of people behind him with his, it was so sick. And then CM Punk did the turnaround and look at that camera that was there, and then they zoomed out. There was just people everywhere. But there was a time where they're walking through that tunnel where nobody in the arena sees it, and Jimmy Hart was swinging as soon as he got in that tunnel. I'm watching, and I just see this flag coming. I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
And then as soon as they get seen by that place, big Hulk Hogan chant.
Yeah, massive.
They even had the caption on Netflix for it.
Hogan.
I think
Yeah,
that's
crowd
exactly what it said.
Hooganing, I believe, is what it said.
great.
Nonetheless, magical night. Real American beer. I can't wait to try it. I legitimately
Delicious.
can't wait to try it. The fact that it got a partnership with the WWE is crazy. That's the first time WWE has obviously ever had a partnership with a beer. I cannot wait to see how that all goes. And everything on WWE is up and up. I cannot wait to be a part of it going forward.